I grew up in an orphanage for 3 years. I lost my parents. I lost my father to suicide. I dealt with abuse. How do I even run a coaching session? I had no idea. I'd never had a coach before. It blew my mind. And I was like, how does nobody talk about this? How does nobody tell us that this exists and that we can achieve this level of healing when we've gone through that amount of trauma?
I'm here today with the beautiful Anja and so excited to talk to her about her incredible coaching business. So she is a graduate of the Yes Supply method, and she is also an empowerment coach going deep with women, understanding that there's so many things that we as women need support with in terms of setting up our boundaries, setting standards, and also communicating for ourselves and sharing what our needs are. So after working with so many women, she's been able to help release the root causes of things that hold a lot of women back and help them reprogram their subconscious mind for success. So I'm so excited for our conversation today, where she's going to share how she approaches coaching, what she's brought from the Yes Supply method into her coaching, her programs, and how she is changing the world as an incredible, empowered woman and also a mom. So thanks so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. So I'm going to turn it over to you and just let you introduce yourself and share your story.
Okay. So my name is Anja, and I have an interesting story. It can get very long, so I'm going to give it to you in a nutshell. I spent the first 10 years of my life in Germany, where I lived a life that was basically very unusual. I grew up in an orphanage for 3 years. I lost my parents. I lost my father to suicide. I dealt with abuse. And after 10 years of that, we moved to Australia, hence the Aussie accent. And, you know, growing up as a teenager there, the first 10 years of my life were very compartmentalized. And it was a trauma that once I left German soil, I wasn't willing to ever look back on. And it kind of got buried deep in my subconscious. And at the time, growing up as a teenager, I felt like I had conquered the world. I was like, oh, I'm so over it. You know, I'm totally fine. And everybody used to say to me, wow, you're so okay after going through all of that. And obviously I was not okay. And there was many signs pointing to the fact that there was a lot of trauma that was influencing my behavior. And it got very confusing for me as I entered my 20s, because I could start to see patterns arising that I wasn't sure where they were coming from, but it was clear that it was something that was happening internally. There was, you know, a lot of pessimism. I couldn't find a positive outlook. There was a lot of anxiety, self-sabotage, people-pleasing, and the biggest one of all, perfectionism. Because, you know, in my early years when I was being abused, there was a theme that if I wasn't performing, I wasn't worthy and I wasn't able to receive love. So all of this was buried, and eventually I became a mom. And, you know, there's I always say children have a way of unlocking so many things that have been locked up in our subconscious for so long. And that happened to me. You know, I had twins. I happened to be a girl-girl twin, and I had girl-girl twins. And this was actually really significant, because when my girl-girl twins turned 3, that was the age of my original trauma. And I didn't know that because it was so buried, but they became a trigger for that memory, because they were such like 2 little versions of me and my sister when we were that age. And a lot of the trauma started to come up for processing. And long story short, I ended up having to deal with that and understand why and how on earth I was not going to pass that down to my kids. And, you know, that was really the biggest motivation for me to sort that out. I could have just let it be and just hoped that it would go away. But I didn't want to hurt my kids as a result of that trauma. And as I looked into and did the healing work, through therapy and a whole bunch of, education and reading and all the things, I discovered a level of healing that it blew my mind. And I was like, how does nobody talk about this? How does nobody tell us that this exists and that we can achieve this level of healing when we've gone through that amount of trauma? And I knew that the way that I felt after I did all of this work, I was a new woman and I felt so good and so powerful, and really was able to step into motherhood on a whole new level. And that was really the biggest piece for me. But I knew also that this was what I needed to share with other women, especially since I had such a deep personal experience with it. And, at the time I was a graphic designer. I've always been an artist, an illustrator. I was doing packaging. I was very successful because of my perfectionism and my, high achievement tendencies. I worked myself to the bone. I had won awards. I was very successful in that career, but I was never happy. I was burnt out and I never took care of myself. It was, work came first and it was impacting my babies and my family. So I feel like all of this happened in the perfect timing. And I believe that the subconscious knows when to bring things up for healing. And the best thing that we can do is listen and not avoid it when it comes up. It can be painful. It can be confronting. And your subconscious mind knows when you're ready. And I believe that, it's such a wellspring of wisdom. And it's, this experience changed my life. And so now I share that with women and I teach them everything that I know about taking back their power. Because to me, a woman who isn't able to tap into that wellspring of potential, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy because I think about myself and who I would have been if I hadn't have done this work. I was a shell of myself, of the person that I am today. And I never would have realized this level of happiness and meaning and fulfillment in my life if I hadn't have gone through the confronting pain of all of that trauma and done the work to actually change myself on an identity level and understand that I can, the past doesn't have to continue hurting my future if I don't want it to. So that is it in a nutshell, Reese.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. And thank you for being so vulnerable to share all of that with us. And I know for me, once I started to share things I had gone through, when I was going through, tough parts of my life, I felt like I was the only one. And then once I started to talk about it, I realized that more people are dealing with things than we even realize. And so, sometimes it's easy to look at someone and assume something on a surface level, but I think it's over 80% of people have dealt with some kind of trauma. And yeah, it's just so widespread. So I think anyone who's listening to this is going to be so grateful for you for sharing and knowing that they're not alone as well. And it's also so interesting how our subconscious mind is very often trying to protect us. And I know sometimes I'm hanging out with my kids and I'll get a random memory that I haven't thought of in 30 years. So it's so interesting how just being with our kids, in that safe place with our kids, just it's like our subconscious, okay, it's a safe time for us to bring this up, to work through and reprocess. So if you're comfortable, do you want to share a little bit about what your healing journey looked like? So perhaps some of the things that you realized or some of the tools that you used and some of the things that you worked through?
Yeah, absolutely. So originally, the very first step for me was to meet my inner child. It was often the way that we treat ourselves or the way that we treat our traumatized selves is with abandonment because it's too painful to deal with. And so we kind of turn our backs on those painful emotions. And that's what I'd done my entire life. So the first step was to actually turn around and look at my inner child and listen to what she had to say and allow her to show me how much pain she went through and to feel that and to, kind of wrap her in love and let her know that I'm here now and we're much older and much wiser. And that was, an incredibly painful and incredibly beautiful process. Like, I'm getting teary just thinking about it because healing your inner child is like this. It's not a journey that ends. It's a journey that you take on, and you take on this child and you hold this child for the rest of your life, and you kind of honor this child every single day. And I'm still on my journey with that inner child, and it's deep and it's beautiful. So that was the very first thing. Once that was kind of taken care of, new things started to come up, and that gave me new insights to start working on other things, because obviously there was many different pieces that I needed to heal. And I highly recommend doing it one step at a time. It's not, I feel like so many people, they come to me and they want an instant fix, and it's one of those things. Healing is there's so many pieces to it, and it's a journey and it's a practice. Another thing was meditation. I discovered meditation on my inner child journey, and that enabled me to tap into the silence that I needed to unlock really so much of my body's wisdom and so much of my body's emotion that had been locked up. So the next part was to really somatically get in touch with my breath, my body, through meditation. And another thing that really changed my life. So that was the second thing. And then the third thing that was the most powerful in my healing journey, I'm trying to think, there were so many things, but I would say EFT tapping. And that's something that I learned at Yes Supply. So I had never heard of it before then, but EFT tapping is so good for releasing trauma and deep-seated emotion, but then also helping you step into this new version of you that is a version that you're becoming, but not yet, or you don't yet believe yourself to be. And that was really powerful for me too. I still use it, on the odd occasion when I'm really feeling overly activated. But those are the main things that really helped me. And just wanted to add there, like, some of the things that I learned at Yes Supply. When I went through that Yes Supply journey, I was about 2 years deep into my own healing journey, and I knew nothing about coaching. So the reason why I wanted to do Yes Supply was I felt like I had the knowledge. I'd done so much research, and I feel so many people are at this point when they're thinking about coaching, like, they have the knowledge. You've done the courses, or you've read all the books, and you've done whatever. You've spent a lot of money on researching, and you have all this knowledge, but you don't know how to actually then, like, share it with people in a way that's going to help them. Right. So there's like this action step that's missing. And with Yes Supply, that's the step that I needed. And like, you so blew me away with that, because there was like, it's like this roadmap and this blueprint of like, here's the exact script, and here's like a real life example, and this is exactly what you need to say. That gave me the confidence to actually, like, then it was like training wheels, to actually put it into action and feel confident that I'm doing and saying the right things. But a really positive byproduct of going through the course was that there was a lot of healing that happened personally. And I think for so many of the girls as well, we got to practice the techniques on each other going through the process. And there was so many breakthroughs and so much transformation, myself included. There was a lot of fear that I was able to release about stepping into this completely new career that I really knew nothing about. And, a recovering perfectionist, I felt like a complete imposter. And so we worked on that throughout the course of the Yes Supply course. And I really felt like that was a huge win for me to be able to release all that. Besides all of the amazing course content that we learned, that was like a happy accident.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And you bring up such a good point of community is so important in healing, because a lot of the time when we go through something tough, we're alone, or at least we feel like we're alone. And so the techniques, inner child meditation, EFT, all incredible techniques, of course, but also sitting with someone who sees you and also sees you at your potential and can hold that space for you, whether you're crying or laughing or silly or whatever it is. It's like something you can't even put a price tag on. It's something you don't realize you need when you're healing. And then once you have it, you're like, okay, I'm in the right place.
Yeah. It's like the community that you didn't know you needed.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh my gosh. And I think in a way that's a really good introduction to the coaching world, because it shows you how valuable that is. And most of the people who were doing that course like equally benefited from that as well.
Exactly. I'd love to hear, how was your journey with Yes Supply? So once you discovered us and you said, okay, I'm in, how was your journey going through the program?
I was really committed. It was, there was a lot to learn, but for me, that was perfect. There was so much content, and like I'm a content person. I love all of the step-by-step stuff. So like I really appreciated that. I appreciated the workbook. Like I had everything like perfectly organized. The process itself, to be honest, like outside of all of the content, which went so far and beyond, I've made lifelong friends going through that process. And how that's really helped me moving forward is that whenever I have a client that like I'm stuck with, or I need some coaching advice, I can fall back and call my friends and say, hey, and they're always so understanding and so willing to help. And that is a really good foundation for a new coach who, again, feels alone and feels like an imposter, because, before Yes Supply, I did another coaching course that I thought would be like all I needed to do, and it didn't turn out that way. And afterwards, I still felt alone, and I still felt like what I was being asked to do just didn't sit right with me. And so that wasn't the case with Yes Supply, and I got so much more than I bargained for. And to me, at the end of the day, looking back now, those friends were like everything, because that's something that you get to keep forever.
I love that. As you were going through the program, which technique stood out the most to you?
Oh my gosh, there's a clear winner. I love neural energetic encoding, because I'm really big on connecting the mind with the body. So that's like what I'm all about, connecting your mind with your emotional body, which is what that does perfectly. And the thing with that is it's 100% effective with me. I always get results. I've never not gotten results using that technique. And it's adaptable. And I've started, putting my own spin on it, and just being able to go deeper with clients to help them connect. It's a really effective way that I can always, no matter what, get really deep solutions out of for my clients. And the transformations I've seen most, or the biggest transformations I've seen, are from using that technique. So there's that, but I also use hypnosis a lot, and EFT. So those are my top three. But NEE by far is what I use the most, and it's the most successful.
I love that. I've had some major deep shifts with NEE as well.
Yeah.
Where were you? How did you discover Yes Supply? And like, where were you at when you decided like, yes, this is for me, I need to take the leap?
Mm. Whew. I was at home with the family because it was COVID. It was the beginning of COVID.
Right.
And I had just made the decision to actually close my design business. So I had my own business and I had to actually close that down, which was a huge leap of faith for me because all of a sudden I wasn't earning income and I was completely doing that on, blind faith and trust in myself and just the voice of my intuition, which had never been clearer that this is what I needed to do. And I just decided for once in my life to trust and see what happens. So that's kind of where I was. And I had done one other course, which I liked that it shifted me further into becoming a coach. I liked that it helped me decide that I wanted to be a coach, but I was left more confused and didn't like that was what it was going to look like. So I was in a place where I 100% knew that this is for me. I 100% knew I wanted to empower women. I just wanted a course that was going to help me feel confident and give me a blueprint of what it is I needed to do, not just technique-wise, but also how do I even run a coaching session? I had no idea. I'd never had a coach before. And that was something that I didn't see anywhere else, the on-field kind of experience that Yes Supply had. So where did I find you guys? I think I saw another coach talking about it. I was, starting to follow a lot of other coaches on Instagram and somebody mentioned you guys and I looked you up and I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like everything I want kind of thing. And I think I even emailed you guys. You weren't even taking on, I think it was because it was COVID, you just converted to online kind of teaching. And I wrote to you guys oh my gosh, when can I start? So I was so excited because I just knew I had been looking and I'd already done other courses that I wasn't happy with. And I just knew just everything about Yes Supply. I was yes, tick, tick, tick. This is exactly what I need. And again, I was afraid that it wasn't going to meet my expectations and that it wasn't going to be an investment that was going to I was going to get back, any ROI on. So it was a scary decision to make, but it worked out better than I ever could have imagined. And here we are 3 years later,
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to hear that. And yeah, I think whenever, you're investing in a coaching program, especially certification, it's so important to find out if it's going to give you the support that you need. So I love that you, in Yes Supply Method, actually get to practice the coaching on someone else, have someone else practice on you, be evaluated, because it's not just more information, it's actually embodying being that coach you want to be. I'd love to hear on the other side of it, once you learned all the techniques and you practiced and you made the shifts, how did you take the techniques into launching and growing your own business?
Yeah. I began, first of all, using the scripts. I was these scripts are my Bible. And it wasn't long before I was okay, this really works. I'm starting to understand exactly the kind of questions I need to ask and when. And I started to realize that sometimes, it's so important to look at the client and understand what they need, that sometimes they needed me to shift the words differently or ask the question in a different way. And so I started to do that. And it's all practice. The more practice I got, the more I learned to really adapt the initial scripts. But if I never had those initial scripts, I never would have had the confidence to then be okay, I can adapt this and I can kind of use my intuition on this and just do it as a more of an intuitive technique. And so that the whole process just gave me, stepping stones to grow and to evolve. And the more I evolved and the more I grew and really took these techniques and made them my own, the more confident I became. And today I don't use the scripts, but I still, the foundation of what I'm doing is there and the results are the same. So it's all practice and just trusting that you know what you're doing, that you know your client, and that you can adapt what you've learned to them. Really, it's to what they need.
I love that. And I love that you said it was the training wheels, because we all need that at the beginning. And then you built upon it. You started working with clients. You're like, okay, I got this. And now you can fly.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect.
And some people might say they don't need scripts or whatever, but I feel like for a lot of people in the new coach position are so thankful to have that. And I think it's a really important piece. And there's no shame in using a script and then like being able to like take off the training wheels and go at your own pace, you know?
Exactly. I love that. So I would love to hear about your business. I feel like you're doing such incredible work and empowering people in such an amazing way. So let us know about your business, about your offers, how you help people, what kind of shifts you've seen.
Okay. So my favorite thing is to empower women. The reason why is because I felt powerless my entire life. And I know how limiting that is. I know how much you feel like you're in a prison. So first of all, I like to think that I set women free, and, you know, I help them to really elevate their minds, but to connect back to their bodies. That's where I feel like there is so much magic, and there's so much transformation that can happen when you connect your mind to your heart. And I really focus a lot on being able to tap into the emotional wealth that you have at your disposal that you weren't sure how to read, or weren't sure how to listen to, or how to allow it to guide you. And then the other piece too is once you've connected back to your body, that's like the first step. The second step is to then step into this powerful version of you and tap into that wealth of personal power that you have once you've let go of the past that you're holding on to subconsciously. So then the second piece of empowerment coaching is learning how to set the right boundaries, learning how to speak and communicate your boundaries, learning how to honor your needs, learning how to respect those needs and work within your relationships to be able to communicate in a compassionate, empathetic, respectful way. And especially communicating those boundaries to other people who are not well versed in emotional intelligence, because I think that's really important. There's so many people out there who will misunderstand you. There's so many people out there who won't understand the point, and they will react. And, you know, if there's a lot of trauma in your history, it can be really easy to fall back into disempowerment when other people react. And the thing is, I'm here to tell the women that I coach that it's not them. It's, you know, it doesn't belong to them. What belongs to other people is separate. And it's really important to know the difference, because you can't control their reactions. And it's crazy what a huge piece of empowerment learning boundaries is, you know? I feel like boundaries is kind of like a hip term right now. It's like going around like boundaries are the thing, but you know, there is so much depth to boundaries, and there are so many intricacies that I love to teach women. Honestly, when a woman knows how to, first of all, when a woman isn't influenced by her own insecurities anymore, and she knows how to communicate boundaries, honestly, you're unstoppable. And that's my wish for all women. You know, all women get to feel the power of being so set and so deeply embodied in their self-worth that other people can no longer influence their feelings and the way that they feel about themselves. And really that unlocks so much potential in their lives, and that makes me so happy. So at the moment, I do one-on-one coaching, and I have a few different one-on-one offers. I did run a group program last year, and I'm still not sure whether I'm running it again. But generally, I start off with women as a 3-month container. I see them once a week, 12 sessions in total. 3 months is a really good time frame to do the work that I do with them, because there's so much healing and deep subconscious work involved. We need to kind of get through the resistance and form new neural pathways. So 3-month container is like the most popular. I do 2-hour intensive sessions, and those sessions are for women who might not be financially able to do the 3-month container, and they really are experiencing something that's holding them back. They're self-sabotaging, and they just want to get to the root of it, and have somebody give them a way forward to release that. So those sessions are really popular, and I'd like to say that that's kind of my specialty. 2 hours is enough time for me to find out what that root cause is and help you release it. And then you get to hang out with me on Voxer for the next month, and we get to, I get to send you lots and lots of tools and support for your healing journey. So those are the 2 offers I have right now. And those are the 2 most favorite ways for me to work with people, and the most effective.
I love that. I love how you structured your business and your offers. And I feel like that 2 hour is probably a great way for people to get an idea of what it's like to work with you, and then, go to the 3-month after if they want.
Yeah.
And after, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done. I was just agreeing.
Okay. After someone works with you, what kind of shifts are they seeing in their life? So after they're done their 3-month container.
To be honest, this is my favorite part to talk about, because it's so
that's what we're referred to here.
After working with me, there's this immense shift in what am I capable of? Because women come to me thinking that there are so many things that are not available to them. And after working with me, it's like the world's their oyster, and all of these opportunities and potentials open up to them, and they're no longer afraid to go in that direction, even if it means the path looks a little uncomfortable. It's like I can do uncomfortable things. I'm capable of doing these hard things and going after what I really want. Yes, I can speak up. I don't need to be afraid to be judged or labeled. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I do have everything I need within me. Yes, I am worthy. So there's a lot of yeses, and just the fact that they're no longer in this prison of limitation, and they feel that, and it comes across in the actions that they take and how they feel about themselves, how they behave, and the decisions that they make. Most of all, is the biggest thing, because without having been opened up like that and removing that glass ceiling, the decisions that you make look very, very different when you still have all of these subconscious limiting beliefs holding you back. So it makes me so proud when I see them making these crazy decisions, like, oh my God, I did this and I did that, and like I can't believe this happened. Well, of course it happened, because you made this decision and you actually said yes to yourself. So that's all of the wonderful ways that women feel after working with me. And I think if we could have a world full of women who feel and behave like that, the world would be a much different place.
I totally agree with you. And it's so true. This was true for me as well. You don't even realize your limiting beliefs are limiting beliefs. You just think you're stuck in limitation. And then once you realize, oh, these are just beliefs, I've been not asking for enough, I've been holding myself back, there's so much available to you. So I love that you're helping people unlock that.
Yeah, absolutely. All of these things just suddenly appear that you never saw before,
So amazing. So what would you say to anyone who's thinking of joining the Yes Supply method?
Don't wait. Don't wait. Make the scary decision. I'm here to tell you, you're not going to regret it. There's absolutely no way that you're not going to be a a more confident human being after taking this course. You're not only going to have the knowledge, but you're going to have the practical experience of coaching. If you want to be a coach and if you want to help people, elevate their minds and set them free, then say yes. Say yes and don't wait.
I love that. Thank you so much. And I'm sure so many people have been following along on your story today and want to follow along with you on social media. So where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram as it's Anja Werner, TikTok and Threads as well, but mainly Instagram, I'm most active there.
Okay, amazing. I will put your links below in the video as well. So I want to say thank you so much, Anja, for being here with us today and sharing your story so vulnerably. You've been through so much and you've come out on the other side such a empowered woman. And I know you're making such a huge ripple effect. So thank you for being you and all the great work that you're doing.
Thank you, Reese. I've loved being here.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Yes Supply Method Coach and Practitioner Certification. My name is Reese. I'm the founder of Yes Supply, and I'm so excited to be here with you. One of the things I always think about is how incredible would the world be if there was a coach in every single household. Imagine every single person had someone to talk to who could empower them, who could uplift them, who could help them see an incredible future for themselves. And if we had that coach, that support system in every household, every workplace, in all of our friend groups, how much different would the world be? How much would we be innovating, getting outside of our comfort zone and seeing what's possible for us? I'm so excited that you're here because my Yes Supply Method coaching certification program has proven methods to support you, the people in your life, and your future clients in creating the life of their dreams. We take a trauma-sensitive, evidence-based, and inclusive support to coaching, as well as a unique blend of science and spirituality to support you in creating your yes life. This program is perfect for you if you're brand new to the coaching world and you want to make sure that you get started on the right foot and get everything that you need to be successful. And it's also perfect for you if you're an experienced coach, but you want to have more tools in your toolkit. You want to get a real understanding of the subconscious mind, and you want to be able to help your clients in any situation, regardless of your past experience. Maybe you're thinking of joining the Yes Supply Method because people are always coming to you for advice and you love giving people support. Maybe you're somebody who's in love with wellness and mindset tools and you want to break out of the basic mindset tools and go so much deeper. Maybe you want to add more to your own personal development practices and then share them with the world. Whatever it is, I know that you're going to love the Yes Supply Method and all the support that you get inside. By the time you graduate from the Yes Supply Method, you will be graduating with 5 incredible certifications. The first one is neuroenergetic wiring. And what this does is it supports you in integrating all of our amazing tools and layering it over a proven 5-step manifestation process to help you and your clients get clear on their goals, the habits that it takes to create the life of your dreams, releasing what's no longer serving you, and moving forward in an expectant energy using the law of assumption. You'll also gain certification in neural energetic encoding. What neural energetic encoding does is it helps you identify any uncomfortable emotions or limiting beliefs that might be holding you or your clients back and get to the root cause of whatever created it so that you can fully release it and move forward with your life. It also is based on epigenetics, as there are studies that share that we may hold on to trauma from up to 14 previous generations. And so with this techniques, it helps us release what may have happened in our own lifetime, as well as potentially in previous lifetimes or generations as well, that has been stored in our DNA. You'll also learn how to practice the tool of hypnosis so that you can identify scripts, patterns, and paradigms that will support the programs to create a better life, and also how to shift into a deeper brainwave state so you can install these new programs and start living the life of your dreams with better habits, better ways of looking at the world, and a new approach to everything that you do. You'll also receive certification in emotional freedom techniques, which is an incredible energetic tool that works with the brain to help you release and desensitize any emotions that are not supporting you, pains, aches, feelings, thought processes, whatever it is. And what it does is it interacts with the amygdala to remind you and let you know that you're safe so you can move forward and do anything that you might have been previously anxious or nervous about with ease. And next, you'll also be certified as a mindset coach. So you'll be able to combine all of these tools in a coaching setting, knowing how to practice presence with clients, active listening, powerful coaching to help people get to the root cause of whatever is not supporting them, and also support them in creating the goals of the life that they want to achieve. You can learn more about each of these certifications below, but essentially you're going to be well practiced in energetic and subconscious tools that get to the root of the issue and help people completely transform every single thing about themselves. Feel free to look at the information below or the brochure to get deeper on each of these modalities. The cohorts are perfect for you if you want to show up at the same time every single week with the same group and get that added accountability as you move through the Yes Apply Method program. As you move through the cohort, you'll see the same trainer every single week where you'll have time to watch the videos in between calls, do any homework or preparation, and then show up to the calls where you actually get to practice coaching in a live setting. So you'll be showing up to a live call with other coaches where you'll be able to practice the techniques with someone else and get real live coaching experience, as well as show up with something that you might be working through and get coached in the moment to help you fully empower yourself. We have regular live calls where you'll feel so supported, where you can have discussions, ask additional questions, practice in smaller coaching segments, and also get access to hot seat coaching for whatever it is that you're working through. And it doesn't stop there. Up till now, I've talked about you becoming an incredible coach with all of these amazing tools. And you might also be asking, will I get business support? So after graduating, you get access to a bunch of additional business support. You get access to a program that walks you through how to create your signature program, how to create a sales page, how to run discovery calls, how to create offers, how to build out everything, how to show up and share your powerful story as the coach that you want to be in your marketing, and so much more. You'll also get access to regular business mastery calls with me and my team, where you'll be able to show up and ask specific questions about business so you can get tailored support with whatever you're working through. We have additional bonuses on social media, as well as creating abundance. So all of these bonuses are going to help you attract your dream clients, make sure that you have an incredible offer to share with them, become confident with speaking about whatever it is that you want to do, and show up as the coach that you know that you want to be. You have access to 18 months of live incredible support. So even after graduation, you can come in and get help with your techniques, with working in your coaching business, and also the business and marketing aspects of everything, as well as you get lifetime access to the pre-recorded content. If this resonates with you and you want to join us inside the Yes Apply Method, I would love to see you inside. We have so many incredible success stories of people who've taken the Yes Apply Method and it's absolutely changed their life, their business, the way that they look at the world, and what they do for a living. If this resonates with you, then you can keep reading below and sign up below. And you can also book a call with a member of our team to ask your specific questions and learn more. Thank you so much. It's been so great getting to know you, and I can't wait to see you inside the Yes Apply Method.